Well, hey, everybody. How's it going today? I'm seeing there's like 10 or so of you in the room. I think it says, 7 on Twitch and 10 on YouTube. Awesome. Hi. Hello. We're starting a new book today. But before we get into that, let me, go through the chat real fucking quick and be like, hey, how you doing to all of y'all. Let's see. I'm seeing Jake DJY excited about Speed Trap. Mickey Wonderbread asking if this is a speed trap from Static Shock. No, this is at least I don't think so. Was that episode of Static Shock out in 2003? Because that's when this book came out. I don't know. But it is about the Flash, as Jake said later on. I'm seeing Shug5, I believe. Hello, how are you doing? Michael Morris, hello. Hope you are having a great day, and how is it? I am having an okay day. I had to wake up at 5:45 in the morning to get Archer to the vet again for some ultrasounds. And, that's not the most pleasant time to wake up, but it wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting. Went through the McDonald's drive-thru, got some breakfast. It's all right. Probably would have been better to eat at home because I'm starting to think that I might have a gluten allergy, and eating in a drive-through breakfast, it's usually all, biscuits or muffins or whatever, and it's all wheat-based, and doesn't help if my suspicions about a gluten allergy are correct. Let's see. I'm seeing Crazy Duplicate, X McLovin, because it's Thursday. Yes, it is. Is Shelby the smooth collie in this? I don't think so. So there are two different covers for this book. One says it's written by Michael Teitelbaum, who gave us Shelby the smooth collie. The other says it's written by Brian Augustyn, who is the author of Batman Gotham by Gaslight. And I flipped through the book just to double check, and the end of it has an about the author for Brian Augustyn, so I don't think Shelby the smooth collie will be in this. Though I do believe this is one of the only two books written after we got Shelby in what was it, Golden Opportunity. Mickey Wonderbread. There was a character in Static who called himself Speed Trap. Yes. Danny Productions. Hey, how's it going? I hope you have a better day because it's Thursday. Well, thank you, Michael. So far, it's not too bad. It just got off to a rough start. My coffee's starting to wear off a little bit, so if I start to doze off, don't blame me too hard. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hop over to this one now that we're kind of caught up. Oh, the Twitch viewers just went down from 7 to 1. Damn. R.I.P. I loved you as long as I knew you, Twitch viewers, but that's okay. Just like Speed Trap, written by Brian Augustyn. It says it's based on a story idea by Rich Fogel and Andrew Kreisberg. You might know Rich Fogel from a bunch of the DCAU stuff that he's done. He's been a big part of that. I think going as far back as Superman the Animated Series. We recently just interviewed him. And that should be up sometime soon. I don't know entirely what the schedule is going to be on that, since our interviews usually take a little bit of time to come out because they're kind of used as backup videos in case we don't have anything to come out that week. So you might know Rich Fogel from his DCAU stuff. Andrew Kreisberg, you might know from being a fucking creep. He wrote Legends and The Greatest Story Never Told for the DCAU, but he was also a Supergirl and Arrow producer who had sexual harassment allegations lobbied against him and was fired. Let's see, has engaged in a pattern of alleged sexual harassment and inappropriate physical contact over a period of years, according to 15 women and 4 men who have worked with him. What a fucking creep. What a fucking weirdo. Get out of here, Andrew Kreisberg. We're just gonna pretend that this is based on a story idea by Rich Fogel and written by Brian Augustyn. Let's see. this looks interesting. I'm hoping that it is interesting. In the Secret Origins novelization, we got confirmation of like Barry Allen in the DCAU, and there's a couple things that like don't really line up with how Secret Origins played out, or the DCAU timeline as a whole. Like, it says that there's a 9-month gap between the League forming and the Watchtower being built, but then in like Paradise Lost, Wonder Woman's just like, I've only been gone for 8 months, kind of situation. So, you know, hello, just joined. How you doing? I'm doing all right. How's it going with you, Delivery Blaze? Is Ray Romano a real criminal? From what I understand, yes. Let's see. Oh, a super chat for $5 US. Ever read those DC superheroes chapter books in the DCAU art style? I think they made over 200 of them. Zeta started talking. I caught it before Zeta did. I have not read many of them. I think I've read like 1 or 2. I have like 5 or 6 on my shelf, but James has been going through and buying a lot of them and like kind of just skimming through them, and has basically come to realize that like the majority of them don't really follow continuity at all and are just reusing art assets. But we have gotten like confirmation from some authors on those that they tried to fit continuity since they knew they were working in that art style. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's going on with that stuff. What if Barry Allen is Kid Flash in this universe? No, that's not it. Secret Origins said Barry Allen died while Wally was Kid Flash. So, you know, if we're gonna go by official material, that's what we got. Did you happen to catch Jay's reviews making an appearance on a live stream last night? No, I have no clue what you're talking about. Is it Wednesday, my dudes? It is not Wednesday. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to hop into the book. Starting with the prologue. I'm going to try to get at least through chapter 1, maybe a little bit further. But, you know, probably only going to stick the hour as per usual, especially with how you know, drowsy I'm feeling from waking up early. Slaughter Creek was the hard part of Central City, even for the seasoned outlaws who responded to the strange summons on that wet evening. Everything in the creek seemed to be in ruin, and what little light could be found came from the lurid, buzzing neon signs in the dirty windows of the corner saloon. As the 8 men made their way past buckled, potholed pavement and burned-out shops, none of them could shake the feeling that they were traversing the heart of a war zone. They weren't far wrong. Many battles had been fought here over the years. To date, there had been no winners. Despite their collective experience as practitioners of the criminal arts, for such is how this elite group defined themselves, this no man's land made them more than a bit nervous. There were no banks to rob here, no jewelry stores to plunder, no costume heroes to taunt. Down here, police response time averaged somewhere between forget it and not a chance. It was the perfect place, the desperados understood, for the bizarre summit to which they had been called. One by one, the wary bandits made their way to the venue for their mysterious meeting, the boarded up and ramshackle Keystone Theater. The building's gilding and paint had long since peeled, its Art Deco ornamentation water-stained and crumbling. The last film shown there, according to the tattered, faded posters still on display, had been a war film entitled The Losers that had been 25 years ago. One by one, the 8 visitors passed through the moldy and decaying lobby, heading toward the flickering light in the auditorium beyond. "Anyone for Raisinets?" said the slim, blonde man with the crooked grin. "Zip it, Jesse!" said the man with the crocodile hunter accent and the boomerang print tie. Do you really want to mess with a blighter who can call this many of us together on a whim? Who exactly is this guy?" asked the blonde man. A booming basso profundo rang out from the auditorium. "Come in, everyone! My time is precious." The voice seemed to make the very air around them vibrate, shaking something deep inside every one of them. Whoever he is, said the Aussie with an audible gulp. I suddenly wish I'd been busy tonight. I assume the Aussie's gonna be Captain Boomerang. I don't know who is Jesse. I don't know who Jesse is. So we got right off the bat we have a couple. Let's get that out of there. Right off the bat we have a couple things to note. We've got Jesse. We've got. I'm pretty sure it's Captain Boomerang. It's probably what Jesse Quick. That's a person's name, right? That would be a Flash villain, I would assume. Locations. We got Slaughter Creek, Central City. I believe they said Keystone Theater. Yeah? Keystone Theater, yes. And then we have, let's see, a couple pop culture references already. The Losers. Raisinets. I could probably put all these in the same. And Crocodile Hunter. So that was a mentioned in, I guess, it wasn't in the narrative. It was like mentioned as a descriptor, not in narrative. And then we have a timeline note. The Losers came out 25 years ago. Let's see. We've got a 2010 version of The Losers. Was that a redo of another version? The Losers. There's a 1970 version. The CIA sends motorcycle outlaws William Smith, Adam Roque on armed choppers to Cambodia to rescue an agent. I assume that's probably more likely what they're talking about. Let's see, likely the 1970 version. There we go. What y'all got going on? It's my headcanon that Barry stopped being a hero and became a father. Well, Secret Origin said he died, so you know. Womp womp. Wonder what DCAU Barry's outfit would have looked like. Who knows? Probably red. I'm guessing that much. I'm expecting the Flash to solve this problem within 2 chapters. Doubt it. Did you like Zack Snyder's Justice League? Yeah, it was good. Pickle Pie 99, hello back to you. I like Flash saving the world. Do you have a Losers Found Dinosaur Island in the DC Comics universe? Do I have a Losers Found? I don't know what you mean. On the Snyder Cut over him saying the Russian family. What? Oh, I like Flash saving the world on the Snyder Cut. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that was cool. Hello back to you, Bootleg Serial from the DCAU Watchtower comment section. Jesse is James. Jesse, the Trickster. That could be it, yeah. Yeah, no, Ray Fisher's good. Who's a blonde dude? The Losers are a DC Comics paramilitary team from the Golden Age. Yeah, that's what it was saying the 2010 version was based on. But I don't know if the 1970 version is the same. Let's see. Motorcycles are fast, that's true. Have I seen Godzilla vs. Kong? No, I have not seen it yet. I haven't seen any of the Godzilla or Kong movies that have been coming out recently, though. So, you know, I'm behind on a lot of things. I've just finished Infinity Train, the 3 seasons that are out. That's what I've been watching, and now I'm kind of juggling Lupin on Netflix, Revolutionary Girl Utena on Funimation, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends on Hulu. Just kind of going back and forth between the 3. The 8 nervous outlaws took seats in the dilapidated theater. On the screen, bright colors swirled and sparkled, revealing only the hazy, projected silhouette of the one who had summoned them. He was big, but nothing more than that could be discerned. The voice that rang in the large hall had to be mechanically filtered. There was no way what they heard emanated from a human throat. Whoever the voice belonged to, though, he had a rapt audience. "My terms are final and absolute," he said. "There will be no discussion and no negotiation." The cowed criminals nodded assent. The commanding voice continued. "In exchange for one simple action taken on my behalf, I will make available to you an arsenal of unique weapons, devices far beyond anything human technology can hope to duplicate." "Who do we have to kill?" asked a man known as Jesse. Amusing choice of words, intoned their projected host. "And apropos, the task I ask in return is the destruction of the fastest man alive, the death of the hero known as the Flash." The assembled crooks were startled. They were thieves and con men, second-story men in bright outfits and masks. They weren't killers. For most of them, merely badgering one of the world's 2 numerous heroes to distraction was rewarding enough. "We're not hitmen." The words came from a gruff man with mirrored sunglasses. He had the look of one unaccustomed to deference, and this odd transaction was wearing on his nerves. All but one of the others murmured their agreement. The dim house light suddenly winked out, casting the auditorium into darkness. The image on the screen began to fade. "Go then! I will find someone else upon whom to bestow my largesse." Out of the darkness, one voice spoke. "No, wait! I'll take the deal. I have no love for that dashing doofus," said a low, husky voice, growing bolder as it continued. "And I can use those weapons for a job I've got coming up." The deep voice boomed again in the darkness, seeming to wash over the men. They were all anxious to be anywhere else. "Stay! The others, get out! Forget you were here." The blonde man was on his feet, making his way to an exit. "I'm so gone, I'm already putting the key in my front door." 7 departed quickly. 1 stayed to listen. "Here's what you will do," the voice in the dark began. So we've got 1 more named character, and that is the Flash. There's like 6 other criminals. And there is a man behind the curtain situation. Flip page. Let's see. I gotta watch Invincible. It's on my list. I don't like giving Amazon money if I don't have to. Which is, kind of ironic, seeing as I'm reading this off of Kindle Unlimited right now. But I gotta do this for you guys, for the channel. So it is as it goes. But I really do want to watch that. What do you think of Starro being the villain of James Gunn's Suicide Squad? It makes sense. Makes sense James Gunn would go there. I'm really interested to see it. Is Infinity Train good? Oh my god, it's brilliant. Watch it. The new season drops in like just a week. And it's like very short seasons. They're like 13 episodes. The episodes are like 11 minutes long. Not a lot of a time sink at all. Binge that shit in time for the 4th season. Go watch it. How do I feel about the new Space Jam? I am so far from interested. I do not care about it, really. It just looks like a big old advertisement for Warner Bros. IP, and man, I do not care. First thought is that it might be Alright. Look, I don't know what y'all keep talking about with this Gabby thing, but this keeps coming up like every time I stream, and I'm fucking tired of it. I do not know who that is. Sorry, hide user on channel. You banned. I've told y'all to just fucking drop that. I do not know what you're talking about. It's Collie, the smooth Collie. Mirror Master was there too. Yeah. It seemed to be that they were suggesting Mirror Master. So let me at least Mirror Master question mark. Yeah, first Space Jam is good. I heard Utena was a masterpiece. It's a lot to follow, but it's a lot of Steven Universe apparently was inspired by it, which is why I'm going back and watching it. And like, I'm only 3 or 4 episodes in, but I can really see the inspiration, and it's a lot of fun so far. Right now, it's just got the issue that a lot of animes do, where it's just like, you know, because the names are all based around like names from a foreign language. It's kind of hard to familiarize yourself with the character names. You know, early on, but hopefully the more I watch it, the more I will, you know, retain that information. I had the same issue with My Hero Academia for a second, and then, you know, as time went on, I was just like, okay, got it. I remember everyone now. Okay, Chapter 1. The sign arcing over the 12-foot security gate read, Metacon Technologies Research and Development Division. The smaller but more urgent sign below read, High Security Facility. Absolutely no authorized personnel allowed beyond this point. The gate itself was missing. It lay twisted, charred, and still smoking 14 feet inside the security entrance. Something very forceful and very hot had ripped the heavy steel gate from its place and tossed it aside as though it were crumpled paper. A few yards beyond it lay the shattered remains of the guard station. Some very powerful, unauthorized personnel had ignored the strongly worded prohibition against entry. A sudden breeze stirred the night air as a faint crimson blur blew through the ruined gate. As the 2 dazed but unhurt guards pulled themselves from the wreckage of their shed, they found a tall, impressive young man staring curiously down at them. The guards could only return his stare. The young man was clad head to foot in crimson and gold, including the red mask that covered his face. Flash? Said the older of the 2 guards. Some costume jerk and his crew blasted their way inside, the second guard blurted out. The fastest human being on Earth, the Flash lived for constant motion. Standing still, even for a moment, was his idea of torture. His body twitching and vibrating too fast for the human eye to see in anticipation of renewed action. But now the speedster tried, as he always did, to contain his desire and forced himself to listen for a seeming eternity to the guard's story. It confirmed everything he had already learned from the Justice League alert. Unless I very much miss my guess, said Flash, the rest of the Justice League has already got this creep well in hand. He nodded at the sound of approaching sirens. Police are on their way too. Stay put, you might need medical attention. With that, the Scarlet Speedster made for the main complex, moving so fast he appeared to be no more than a fading scarlet streak. Can't leave all the fun to the others, mused Flash with a wide, brash smile. Okay, so real quick, Metacon Technologies is a place that we have. And I guess I need to copy, paste, but now it's Chapter 1. The Justice League is here. And I guess we got unnamed security guards, but I'm not sweating it. Elsewhere on the wooded and pleasant Metacon grounds stood the main research and development building, shaken now by strange internal tumult. Through the windows, an impossible sight could be glimpsed, a powerful thunderstorm raging inexplicably within the lobby. Gale force wind roared and bolts of lightning blazed as dense sheets of water poured from dark clouds scudding along the ceiling. The winged woman and the big man in green and black were being tossed madly by this bizarre, dislocated weather event. So I'm going to assume that's going to be Shire and John, not Jean. Inside the building, Green Lantern skidded on his back across the sopping carpet, sending up a splattering spray as he ent? E-N-T. What? That feels like shorthand. He held an arm across his eyes as yet another lightning bolt shot his direction. On his finger, he wore the famous ring that gave him his name and the power to make his will manifest. In the chaotic uproar, he couldn't focus enough will to use the ring as a flashlight. Worse, he had lost track of his enemy in this ridiculous indoor hurricane. I'm assuming this is Weather Wizard. He didn't know where his partner, Hawkgirl, was either. The two Justice Leaguers had been the first to respond to the Metacon alarm. They had entered expecting to make short work of whatever criminal genius had been stupid enough to break into a facility on the Justice League's watch. Just before the typhoon had swept in from the cafeteria, Green Lantern was certain he had glimpsed a clown in bright green, a clown brandishing what looked like a magic wand. Then, the clown waved the wand and all hell had broken loose, right in Green Lantern's startled face. Too late, the Emerald Crusader had realized who they faced, a man who could summon and control the most powerful natural forces on Earth. The Weather Wizard. I knew it. I knew it all along. Where's Flash? Wondered Green Lantern for at least the 15th time since the storm began. And boom. Let's see. Get those all down. Hawkgirl. Green Lantern. Not Wonder Woman, Weather Wizard. Two different WWs. Utina, fun. Show about abuse. You could frame it that way, or you could frame it in the terms of being a show about being emancipated from abuse. And emancipation from abuse is fun. Let me tell you, as someone who has lived through that a time or two. Actually, it's John's shape-shifting as John. Hello, awesome fire done. Hey, Maddie, where's Flash? Aussie Dragoon wondered. Weather Wizard vs. Wonder Woman. I'm down for it. Let's go. We have a Wonder Woman video coming out this Sunday. So it's a TED script, and I don't know all of the details of it, but maybe Weather Wizard will show up. Who's your favorite DC character? I mean, it's, the real easy one, Batman. Gotta go with who you're familiar with. Hawkgirl fell heavily onto the tumbled lobby furniture as hailstones the size of light bulbs pelted her. Though she had protectively wrapped herself in her large wings, she felt every jolt of her fall. The smashing ice clods made themselves painfully evident as well. How had the Weather Wizard gained the upper hand so quickly? A deafening explosion of thunder boomed in the confined space, followed quickly by sizzling blue-white spears of lightning. One bolt hit the overstuffed chair a few feet to Hawkgirl's left, blasting it to smoldering, blackened bits. Unable to get her bearings, she knew she could not long survive the blazing assault. Abruptly, the lashing rain and wind seemed to abate. Hawkgirl looked to find herself safely inside a large translucent bubble of bright emerald-like energy. Green Lantern stood nearby, the glowing green enclosure emanating from his amazing ring. The next lightning strike bounced harmlessly off the barrier. "We have to get to the lab!" Green Lantern shouted over the storm's din, "before Weather Wizard succeeds in looting the place." "Where's Flash?" Hawkgirl shouted in response. On several workstations under the high arched ceiling of the vast laboratory space, Impressive pieces of advanced technology sat in various stages of completion. In the center of the huge room stood a very tall, chrome-plated tubular device on a pivoting stand. Every streamlined inch screamed weapons of mass destruction. This was the ion cannon, Medicon's current pride and joy. Weather Wizard and his 4-member crew were gathered around the gleaming, towering marvel. Imagine the weather havoc I can wreak with the power of this bad boy blasting the clouds, the Weather Wizard whispered in awe. And thanks to the enhanced weapons we have, said the black-clad woman at the wizard's side, not even the high and mighty Justice League can stop us. Indeed, Tempest, indeed, chuckled the Weather Wizard. Now, while we're here, let's see what other plunder we can grab. So we got a new character named Tempest. And the ion cannon. Ion cannon. Who is Tempest? What does she look like? That's a man. That's Aqualad. That's not right. Tempest, DC Comics. Villain? No? No? Is there not a Tempest other than Aqualad? I don't know. Weather Wizard versus Wonder Woman versus Wade Wilson. Too much alliteration. My favorite is Shelby the Smooth Collie. I do love Shelby. Flash is dead. No, Flash isn't dead. Did Maddie get a sponsorship? For the sponsorship for what? No, I don't have any new sponsorships to lob at you. If you're asking me to advertise you something, I don't got that right now. Wally West is broken for some reason. Time for some fan service. Why has Tempest turned against Aquaman? Well, it says this is a woman. Black-clad woman. I ain't got no bozos in here right now, no. So Tempest is just evil in this, I guess. But it's the only other Tempest is also a guy and is a Doom Patrol member. Huh. Who knows? Fuck if I know. From the vantage point of the high catwalk, the 5 criminals below looked like insects. They're bugs up close too, mused the Flash. A microsecond later, Flash was no more than a hazy red streak heading straight down the wall to the main floor. The time had come. The speedster knew for his fun to begin. Anything moving at human speed might as well have been frozen to Flash's speed-enhanced perception. The large man in the black jumpsuit stood absolutely still, a wrench in his beefy hand. He was preparing to release the locking bolt from a small electromagnetic generator. Another henchman was frozen in the act of grabbing greedily at a pair of oversized electron pistols. The woman known as Tempest was about to snatch up a stack of top-secret files. A short, stocky thug stood with a hammer raised above the cabinet lock he was about to smash. The Weather Wizard grinned like a demented statue, stroking the gleaming shell of the ion cannon. To the Flash, they were all like frozen fish in a very small barrel. A crimson wind swept through the room. The large man suddenly smashed himself in the head with his wrench. His howls of pain and confusion still rang in the air as the pistol-wielding thief clawed the empty air where his prizes had lain an instant before. At that exact moment, Tempest was lost in a flurry of documents. The vandal with the hammer stumbled backward, his trousers suddenly pulled around his ankles. The Weather Wizard's head slammed into the side of the ion cannon with a resounding bong. Flash strobed to a stop, contentedly holding the wizard's wand. A full eighth of a second had elapsed. Why rush when you're having a good time? The lab doors were pushed open by a large emerald battering ram. Immediately, Green Lantern and Hawkgirl entered, both itching for battle. Lowering her heavy mace, Hawkgirl sighed to see the criminals reduced to 5 stunned heaps on the lab floor. Flash was leaning with 2 studied relaxation against the ion cannon. He feigned a yawn as he idly snapped the wand in 2. "What took you guys so long?" the speedster asked with a grin. We were caught up in the storm trap the wizard set for those of us who showed up first, Glory Boy," Green Lantern said. "We could have used your help." "Hey, you had it, GL," Flash protested, smiling. "I was in here wrapping up the climatic creeps." Are we going to have this conversation again? You've got to start taking this work more seriously, Flash, said Hawkgirl with a sigh. Why work that hard when my speed keeps me miles ahead of jerks like this? The Weather Wizard had carefully pulled himself to his feet. In his hand was a small but lethal-looking silver pistol he had pulled from his wide belt. The pistol was aimed at Flash, who hadn't yet deigned to notice. Flash whirled at the sound of the pistol's trigger. Incredibly, the fastest man alive was too late. The intensely bright bolt of crackling blue energy was almost smashing into his chest. For the first time in his speedy career, the Flash ran out of luck. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see, Chapter 2. Do we got time for it? Yeah, you know what, why not? We can do Chapter 2. I'll make it work out. They made her up. That's what I'm assuming, is that they made her up. Well, why is it hiding so many messages? Oh, I didn't mean to hide that. Jake said fudge, and I accidentally hit hide. Did Flash just break the fourth wall? Did he? Did I miss that? Do you miss your blonde hair? Sometimes. I've been thinking about doing it again, but I don't want to necessarily do it with it this long. I don't think it would look good. Beef. Yes, beef. Have any of y'all gotten those weird ads on YouTube lately that are all just like, give beef to your babies! Give beef to your babies! Beef is healthy for your babies! Because I've gotten so many of those lately, and like, it's so strange. Like, I assume it's like the beef companies being like, fuck, our we haven't been selling as much beef. How do we sell beef? Let's tell people it's safe to give to their babies. But like, it's weird, right? Because like, at the end of the day, essentially what it is just a bunch of adults like who sell beef for a living, like just being like, hey, give beef to your babies. And it's very, very bizarre. Let's see. Jesus, this is an unfair fight. So isn't Weather Wizard a Superman villain in the DCAU? Why is he angry at Flash? I think he hops between both. Because he's even in the Flash Museum. I'm starting the Gabby Revenge Squad. She's gonna pay for what she did to Kevin. Hey, guess what, bladder infection? Guess what? You bring that up like every fucking stream, and I still have no clue who or what you're talking about. And I keep telling you every time I'm not gonna engage with it. So guess what? You're just banned. I just hit the hide user on channel. You're not getting a timeout this time. You're fucking gone. 3 strikes, buddy. And STFU about Gabby. Yes. Guns in a kid's book, right? I've been thinking this recently, but Hawkgirl's weapon is a Morning Star, not a mace. Yeah. It's kind of interchangeable. I would think, right? Like, it's close. It's close to interchangeable, I would say. Mace versus Morning Star. They're close. I'll let it slide. The Flash is dead. You stole that from an episode of Justice. Maddie's hair looks fabulous. Well, thank you. With the insect comment. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. Beef, what on earth are you talking about? I haven't seen those ads. Well, that's weird. Like, I've seen, like, 3 different ads for that. It's just, like, the ads, I guess, are, like, basically normal, but, like, when you just think about it as, like, a bunch of adults just being like, give beef to your baby, do it now, give them the beef. It's very strange to think about. Let's see, I just got the ad of a bank that says that you are harassing her when you say send me a photo. Hello back to you, MK Dragon Elite. I just got here and I don't want to get banned or anything, but are they referring to Kevin Savo? I've got no clue. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. Whatever it is, it's drama that has nothing to do with me, and I am getting very tired of like people trying to drag me into it every week. But anyway, chapter 2. Oh, I went backwards instead of forwards. Flash staggered back more in surprise than anything else as the bolt struck his white and gold lightning chest emblem dead center. The blue-white energy crawled swiftly across his torso, sizzling like a barbecued steak. The light show was startling, but the feeling, it tickles, said the chuckling speedster. The energy dissipated as quickly as it had appeared. Flash stood wide-eyed and grinning, but obviously no worse for the experience. Baffled, the weather wizard desperately attempted to fire the tiny pistol again and again, but got only hollow, rasping clicks for his efforts. Whatever the weapon was, it was empty now. That was supposed to destroy you forever, groaned the weather wizard. What a jip! I'd get my money back if I were you, said Flash as he cocked his arm. Hope you saved your thugs are us receipt. Flash's crimson fist whooshed forward, delivering a 1,000-mile-an-hour punch to the weather wizard's jaw. The dazed villain hopped backward several feet before sliding bonelessly to the floor. I don't suppose I should mention that he'd never have gotten off that shot if you'd been paying attention, Flash, said a weary Green Lantern. He could have fried you, Flash, added Hawk Girl with concern. I didn't know you cared, bird lady, mocked Flash. He jokingly flexed his right bicep in an exaggerated display of vigor. But I'm fine, guys. His little pop gun was a joke, and I got the job done with time to spare. All that exertion did make me hungry, though. Flash smiled crookedly. Who's up for 6 or 8 Big Bang breakfasts at Carmine's? Is food all you think about? Said Green Lantern. I burn a lot of fuel moving as fast as I do, GL, said Flash with the same guileless grin. And it's time to fill the old tank. Green Lantern turned away and willed himself to stay calm. He knew by now that the speedster's attention span moved faster than his feet. Trying to inspire responsibility in Flash was like trying to teach a poodle to speak French. You go on, Flash. We'll wrap up here, said Hawk Girl, her large wings giving dramatic emphasis to her resigned shrug. Flash, of course, was long gone before she'd finished speaking. Okay, so we got already two locations. We got Carmine's and we have France. Let me pull that down here. All right. Oh, let's see. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Yes, what about it? No one was organizing Flash Revenge Squad that day on whether Wizard's schedule was open. True. The main villain of this is going to be a beef merchant. Eating all the beef made them big. I'm down with it. Just big beefy boys. Are you hyped up for the new Mortal Kombat movie? I I haven't really interacted with the Mortal Kombat franchise a lot since like fucking 2006 or so. I think like my last Mortal Kombat game might have been Deception. I started trying to play XL a little bit though. So like I'm not like as hyped as I would have been had it been back then. But I am interested to see it. You know who's cool? Starfire is cool. Someone even say she's hot. True. I just think she's cool, which is ironic for Starfire. Oh shoot! Yeah. Now that you mention it, I forget that like oh, I didn't mean to hide that. But I tend to forget that Jip is a like, you know, a shortened slur, because I believe I used to spell it with an I, so like I never got the connection. But I think James brought that up to me recently, and I had to be like, oh, okay. Let's see. I guess Carmine Falcone does exist in the DCAU, but he's not a crime boss. He's a food distributor. I gotta imagine that there's probably Carmine and Flash. Yeah, probably a reference to Carmine Infantino, who is notable works is Flash. Character creations are the Silver Age version of DC Super Speedster Flash. Yeah, so it's probably more of a reference to that. I hope Green Lantern gets more lines because the voice for him is hilarious. Well, we'll see. Big Bang Breakfast whipped up by Prince Vegeta. I was thinking Static Shock with that, but you know, we can go with Vegeta. Does Starfire exist? Yes. As of Batman and Harley Quinn, she is in the DCAU. Let's see. I don't know who those people are. Yeah, I don't know who they are either. Let's just drop it. The trailer for Titan Season 3 just came out. Oh shit. Damn, am I missing it? Maybe I'll pull that up after the chapter. Let's see. Flash breezed out through the front gate, past the gathered police, fire, and emergency vehicles and personnel. With the situation in good hands, Flash moved on into the night, exulting in the feel of the wind against his face. As always, he enjoyed the way the streetlights elongated into bright and colorful banners. The way the night's many sounds made a strange and wonderful music. Speed was a full sensory joy for Flash, and he never took it for granted. His power was a gift, and he treasured it. He knew Green Lantern was right. He should act in a more mature fashion when it came to the use of his powers and his responsibility to the world as a Justice Leaguer. What Green Lantern didn't understand was that the very power that made Flash everything he was made... What Green Lantern didn't understand was that the very power that made Flash everything he was made it difficult for him to be grounded. Okay, I was just reading it weirdly. No one could understand how the speed made Flash feel, even when he was standing still. Ever since the 1 in a trillion accident that had bathed Wally West in the electrified chemicals that somehow gave him his super speed, his very reality had changed. Now his blood surged through his body like liquid lightning. His every molecule hummed with surging, blazing, exploding power. His nerves sang with potential energy, constantly, and Flash loved it. Far from distracted, Flash was always focused 10 steps ahead of everyone else, on the next excitement, the next battle, and yes, sometimes the next meal. There was no adequate way for the Flash to explain to anyone how amazing it felt to blaze through life at a blur. It was freedom, it was magic. When you were as fast as Flash, you could outrace everything, including your own problems. Easing into a curve as he headed back toward the city, Flash accelerated effortlessly toward Mach 10. He moved faster and faster, enjoying every second of his rocketing progress. Suddenly, something was very, very wrong. Flash sensed the involuntary loss of velocity. The inexplicable hitch in his smooth, muscular rhythms. His legs were beginning to feel heavy, his body leaden. Looking down at his chest, Flash was alarmed to see that the crawling blue-white energy from the Weather Wizard's weapon had returned. He had less than a millisecond to consider this impossible sight. Less time than that to wonder what was going on. Before the roaring, burning, blasting pain ripped through every cell of his body. Flash screamed in agony as he lost control and tumbled forward into the headlong rush of his momentum. Flash skidded and rolled for a half-mile down the empty roadway before crashing into a muddy ditch. The fallen speedster lay sprawled in a brackish puddle, his limbs still twitching and steaming, not streaming. He was barely able to note how good the cool water felt against his abraded skin. Then unconsciousness overtook him. So, real quick in-show events. Flash's origin is mentioned. Seems to match what we see in Brave and the Bold. There we go. There's that. Off I must go, for there are people who don't know about Starfire that must be enlightened. But there weren't any fires. Fire trucks show up for stuff that's not fires all the time. Did you hear the one about Jay's reviews? He's a DCAU YouTuber, right? I mean, he's not a DCAU YouTuber. He does DCAU stuff from time to time, but that's not his main focus. Damn, Wally, getting high on speed in a kid's book, true. Guess the entire arc of this plot is Flash learning how to not be an annoying jokester. Something like that, maybe. Ben Affleck's solo movie would have been about him and Deadshot teaming up to fight Deathstroke, but that eventually got repurposed into Batman. Man, who are all of you people just always talking about this Gabby person? I have no clue who this is. I do not get it. Where was I? Wally West awoke painfully, unable to open his crusted, burning eyes. Where was he? Had it been minutes or years since he had cannonballed down the highway on his back? But more importantly, why had his speed so betrayed him? A blood-red haze of pain was his only answer as it lowered over his awareness like a heavy curtain. Flash dropped into sleep again, moaning in remembrance of the blue-white lightning and the nightmare agony it brought. Green Lantern looked down at his badly injured friend, sorry suddenly to have shared only harsh words with the speedster earlier. The Emerald Crusader flew resolutely skyward, carrying his unconscious teammate gently within a glowing green capsule of energy from his ring. The Justice League's Watchtower headquarters had fantastic medical facilities. The Green Lantern hoped he could get Flash there in time. So we got Watchtower to add to the notes. Boom. The huge, imposing satellite floated in silent vigil against the cold blackness of space. The Watchtower, the Justice League's orbiting headquarters, kept constant watch over the massive azure orb of the Earth gleaming beautifully below. Inside, within the super-advanced technology of the satellite's medical bay, the heavily bandaged Flash slept fitfully in the cocoon of a steel treatment pod. The Jade Giant it's hard to read today. The Jade Giant in the flowing blue cloak hovered close, studying the electronic displays built into the pod. The man's visage was not quite human. but his compassion and concern for the friend before him was easily recognizable. Jean Jones, the hero known as the Martian Manhunter, winced slightly as he pondered Flash's vital signs. "What do you think, Jean?" That's Green Lantern. "What do you think, Jean?" Asked the pacing Green Lantern. Hawkgirl stood by, looking grim. The Manhunter's voice rumbled deeply, sadly. "The energy the Weather Wizard fired at him has woven itself into Flash's cellular matrix, I'm afraid." "What does that mean?" asked Hawkgirl with concerns. It means that the strange energy has a stranglehold on Wally's unique metabolism. The faster he moves, the tighter its grip on him," said Jean slowly. "At rest, his body won't feel a thing." "But if he speeds?" Green Lantern said, dreading the answer he knew he would get. "It may well rush the life from him," Jean Jones croaked huskily. Superman and Batman moved side by side into the infirmary, drawing stares, as always, even from their peers. Alone, each was extraordinary and striking. Together, they were awe-inspiring. They were almost diametric opposites, but they were the strongest of allies, no matter their differences. The Man of Steel and the Dark Knight were the living embodiments of the ideals the League was sworn to uphold. They moved quickly into the room, joining the other heroes huddled around their injured comrade. Flash's condition was displayed on the screens, and everyone's silent attention was riveted to the images there. Superman studied the image representing Flash's neural pathways. Blue lightning energy pulsed as it twisted and spread like a rampant weed through the speedster's system. The Man of Steel looked away, his expression one of empathetic pain. "There has to be something we can do," he whispered. "We can't just let him suffer." "If I understand Jean's diagnosis, Flash isn't in any pain, aside from his injuries. And the equipment is doing everything possible to ease that," said Batman. Green Lantern spoke softly. "He's going to be in a whole world of psychological pain once he realizes he can never run again." Batman began striding toward the door, his cape flowing behind him like wings. All business as always, the Dark Knight moved with purpose. "We need to find out the source of that energy, Lantern," Batman said. "Let's you and I see where the Weather Wizard got that ray pistol." As Batman and Green Lantern left, Hawkgirl and Superman watched them. "His emotion just chokes you up, doesn't it?" asked Hawkgirl sarcastically. "Brisk efficiency is an emotion for Batman. It's how he shows concern," Superman smiled slightly. "He cares, and he will get the answers." In the steel cocoon of the medical equipment, Flash slept. Okay, tight. So we got a couple new characters. We got Jean Jones. We got Superman. Oh my god, I'm having a hard time spelling today. And we got Batman. Awesome. So that's the end of chapter 2. I guess since the Titans trailer just dropped, we can probably give that a look real quick. Titans season 3 trailer. Let me see what y'all got going on real quick. That says 1 year ago. This says 5 months ago. Why is there no, hold on. Upload date today? Upload date last hour? Upload date this week? I'm not seeing it. What if I Google it? It's just Titan Season 3 trailer. Google it. Let's see, that's all 2020, 2020. I'm not seeing a Titan Season 3 trailer. Was someone misleading me? Attack on Titan. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything for Titans. Oh well. Let me go back. Maddie, you're probably not a huge Law & Order fan, but have you seen Christopher Maloney's return on Law & Order Organized Crime? What do you mean I'm probably not a huge Law & Order fan? I want you to see something real quick. My Instagram handle is literally executive producer Dick Wolf. I fucking love Law and Order. I'm so far behind though, and I do want to catch up on SVU and everything. And I really want to see. God, what is it called? Criminal? Not Criminal Intent. Organized Crime. Yeah, I really want to see that. I love Christopher Maloney. He's a favorite of mine. Fucking love the dude. And I'm really looking forward to getting to that. But I do kind of want to watch all of the Law and Order stuff in order. And I know that's going to take forever, especially since there's so many different fucking spin-offs and stuff. But SVU used to run all the time in my house growing up. And I definitely, like, just I always revisit it if, like, I don't have anything else to watch. And that shit holds up. It's brilliant. I love it. Jay's an ex-con. Everyone knows the stories all over town. What are you talking about? What do you ask him about Law and Order when you realize he is? I am interested. I'm very interested. Is Vanishing Point coming back or not? I mean, we currently don't have any plans for it. You know. An alternative title for Speed Trap. The Flash got shot. Beautiful. Alright, well. Damn, I had to hide 3 people today. Imagine if Flash spends the entire book in the bed, like Superman being trapped in a crystal for the climax of the novel he's on the cover of. Oh geez. Oh geez. Do you think we'll get Flash in bed the whole time? It's possible. How'd you get that red stain on your shirt? Red stain? Do I have a red stain? I don't have a red stain. I don't see a red stain. Let me look at myself on camera. Am I missing something? I don't see a red stain. I'm looking at myself on the camera. There's nothing there. Have I seen Christopher Maloney and Happy? Yes, I watched Happy. I loved it. Recently watched another Christopher Maloney movie that I wasn't expecting to be very good, but ended up just being brilliant. It's called Gym Teacher, and I want y'all to see, like, it's Christopher Maloney and Freddie from iCarly. It's a Nickelodeon original movie written by the pair of brothers responsible for, like, Norm of the North and, like, the live action Scooby-Doo prequels that Cartoon Network did. And David Alan Grier from Jumanji is in it, and the lady who plays Princess Caroline in BoJack is in it. Just the whole thing is just, like, incredibly over the top and beautiful, and I love it so much. But yeah, Happy is great. Gym Teacher is great. Law and Order SVU is great. Wet Hot American Summer, another great Christopher Maloney. Wasn't he in Man of Steel? Was he? He might have been. I guess so, yeah. Is Chris Maloney a beef salesman? Did I really just mention iCarly? I used to watch iCarly so much back in the day. If you want to catch up on Law and Order Organized Crime, it runs on Thursdays. Yeah, I do. I'm actually gonna put it in my TV tracker app, just so I don't forget that that's something I want to watch. Like I said at the top of everything, I've been watching Foster's Home and Revolutionary Girl, Utena, and the Netflix Lupin series recently. All three have been fucking great so far. Oh yeah, here's Chris Maloney in Wet Hot American Summer. Homie wears a crop top the whole time. It's brilliant. I love it. Wait, are we the same age? I thought you were a little older. I mean, I'm 29. I turned 30 and I turned 30 in June. So I don't know how old you are. But when did iCarly come out? Excuse me. iCarly came out in 2007. So I was like 16 at the time. I also have like 4 younger siblings. So like I was probably watching stuff that I wasn't necessarily in the age bracket for. I also like I didn't even watch a lot of TV growing up. A lot of stuff was off limits, but like whenever I could, I would sneak some iCarly. How far am I into Black Mirror? I have finished it. Wake up the Maloney's of my nation. It's your time to feel something, something. Okay. But yeah, okay. So we got through the prologue and 2 chapters today. We looked for a Titans. We looked for a Titans trailer that doesn't exist. We banned 3 people talking about some drama that I have nothing to do with, and went into some Christopher Maloney stuff. Talked about beef, sang some iCarly. I think that's a good stopping point. Like I said earlier, I've been up since like 5:45 this morning. It's 1 o'clock now, where I'm at, and man, I'm just tired. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna call it a day. Love you all. Take care, and I will be back on Saturday night for some more Batman Beyond timeline and comics and stuff. So maybe I will see y'all then. If not, I will see you next week. Mwah. Take care.